samsara hala hala moha shanti abahu purushakaram shankhachakrasi dharinam sahasra shirasam shritam pranamami patanjalim. Samastiti, Samastiti, place of bliss and joy. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale, walk or jump back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Toes out, engage your legs, tail forward, look up if it is comfortable. Exhale into downward facing dog for 5 breaths. Relax your neck, gaze toward the belly button. Breathe comfortably, freely through the nose, trying to press the heels down, keeping your legs slightly bent if necessary. Breathe fully. Exhale completely. Next, inhale, walk or hop forward. Place your feet, stretch, exhale, forward fold. Pressing down through your feet, come up, reach up, gaze toward the fingers. Exhale, Samastiti. Second one, inhale. Reach up, look up. Exhale, keep your back straight for as long as you can. Inhaling, open your chest. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Toes out, slide your tail forward, chest in front of your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is the time where you can move a little bit in any pleasant way, so your body enjoys the stretching, enjoys the awakening, and you breathe slowly and rhythmically. Approximately 4 seconds inhale, 4 seconds exhale. Inhale, come to front, keep stretching through the chest, through the back. Exhale, forward fold. Press down to come up. Bring your arms up, look up, and hands down. Samastiti. We continue. Inhale, reach through the sides, arms, armpits. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drop your knees if that makes it more sense to you. Tail forward. Exhale. Breathing here. Adjust the distance between your feet and hands so that the weight is distributed more or less evenly. Trying to lift your toes, to engage the arches, to feel the activation of the back of the legs. Inhale, come to front, extend through the chest, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Always press down before you come up. Looking up, elongate, return to center. Bending your legs, Surya Namaskar 2. Looking up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, any way that works for you. Inhaling up, exhaling, downward facing dog. Press the heels, do your best. Step your right foot forward. Take an inhale, grow your arms, gaze follows. Exhale, Hands down, feet on the floor, toes out. Safe back bend with tail forward. Down dog. Inhale, stepping your left foot forward. Big breath. And exhale, place your palms firmly, step back. And Chaturanga Dandasana, push up. Tail goes forward far, open the chest. If it's comfortable, look up. Downward facing dog. Breathe here for 5 even breaths. Connect to the sound of Ujjayi breathing, this pleasant sound resembling the ocean. Keep your belly inside, hip creases, grow higher toward the sky. Next, inhale, come to front. Keep extending, exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, exit through Utkatasana, same way as we begin. Exhale to Samastiti, arms down. Bend your knees, touch the floor. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, forward fold, deep and comfortable. Inhaling, elongate. Exhaling, step a hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Send your tail forward, engage through the legs, knees up. Exhaling, press the heels down. Complete the breath. Step your right foot forward. That's inhale, grow tall, gaze to fingers. Place the palms, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Tail forward, freedom in the lower back, look up if available. Step back, downward facing. Left foot going forward, sides grow, fingers tall. Exhaling into Chaturanga Dandasana, growing with a full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Even out your breath. You have some time to return to your balance, to your connection. Check your bandhas, Mula Bandha, Dhyana Bandha. Breath is even. You can bend your knees one at a time if you need. Inhaling to front, exhaling forward fold. Soften the knees, exit through Utkata, return to Samastiti, exhale. One more time, inhaling, arms tall, exhaling forward fold. Press through the feet, elongate, chest opens wide. Stepping or hopping back, that's Chaturanga Dandasana. Toes out, back bend. Safe and easy. Down dog. Right leg stepping forward. Go from the hips to fingertips. Long line. Stepping back. Support yourself in Chaturanga or lie down flat. Upward dog and downward dog. Left leg stepping forward. Keep your legs firmly engaged and rooted. Return, step back. Legs are super active for upward facing dog to protect your back. Roll over your toes, press your heels down. Stay here for 5 breaths. Check your neck. Bring your chin closer to the chest so you can basically see your navel, or trying to see the navel. Keep your lower ribs inside. Next, inhale, come to front. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, come up, Utkatasana, and return to center, Samastiti. Next pose, separate your feet and pressing firmly, grab the big toes with 2 fingers. Bend the knees if necessary. to unload the back. And then bring yourself closer to the legs as much as available. It is a very deep forward fold. Allow yourself to soften the knees and be where available. Try not to pinch your shoulder blades. Do not open your elbows too far away from you. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale here. Step on your palms or just go a few inches lower than you were before. Breathe fully. Feel the strength of the legs rooting down. Send the hip creases up high. Keep the belly button inside. Head up for inhale. Hands on the hips. Exhale. Inhaling up. Feet together. Samastiti. Exhale. Trikonasana. Stepping your right foot back. 3 feet approximately. Stretch your arms, elongate through the spine, and then enter the form of Trikonasana, of triangle, either holding the big toe or placing your hand higher, below the knee, mid-shin, or ankle. Inhaling, right foot in, left foot out, stretch the side, and choose where to place your left hand. Open your right shoulder, gaze follows your right fingers. Breathe fully, trying to keep both sides equally elongated. Come up, twisted triangle pose. Right hip back, left arm on the outside of the left leg. Breathing here, trying to open the chest, inhaling up, left side, right arm goes toward the left leg, stretch away from the left hip into the right fingertips. Look up if that's available. Press down through the mount of your left big toe and the back heel. Inhaling up, return to center. Samastiti. Parshvikonasana, side angle. Bigger step now. Step your right foot back, root down firmly, stretch up and enter the pose. Easy version, elbow on the knee, or deeper version, palm on the floor, on the outside of your right foot. Use the strength of your back leg to grow away from it. Long line of the side. Inhale, change sides and choose your level. Elbow on the knee or palm down. Stretch the entire side. Feels the energy running through it all the way to your fingertips. Gaze there. Inhaling. Trying to twist the pose. Parivrtta version. Left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Palms together and right elbow looking up. Inhaling, change side, entering the left, square the hips first to use the strength of the legs. Do not peel off the right foot off the ground. Try to press firmly as much as available. Inhaling up, return to front, Samastiti. Prasarita Padottanasana, 4 variations of forward fold. Keep your outside edges of the feet parallel to each other. The stance you will choose for yourself. The wider, the easier. Palms land on the floor, width of your shoulders. If that's too far, fingers on the floor. Push the heels of the palms forward as you keep your hip creases up high and belly deep inside. Inhaling, look up, stay here for exhale, hands on the hips. Next, inhale, use the strength of the legs to come up. Exhale here. Second one. Inhale, open the arms up, return to the hips. Big breath. Glance up. Exhaling, tug the belly inside. Elongate through the sides. Hands remain on your waist. Elbows toward the sky. Breathe. Check the outside edges of the feet and inside edges of the feet. Press equally. All four corners of the feet engaged. Coming up, inhale and exhale. C. Open the arms and clasp your hands behind. Take a breath, glance up, and now round your shoulders as if you want to hug your heart. It sounds counterintuitive, but this is what will increase the range of motion in the shoulders. Do not overdo. Feel how it feels. Be smart. Stop when appropriate. Breathe through sensations. Inhaling up, return your hands to the hips. One more variation. Inhaling up, grab your big toes or ankles and take a breath here. Exhaling, enter the pose and pulling up on your toes if you're holding the toes with the wrists and with the elbows. So the arms are engaged here. Legs towards straight. If you need to micro bend your knees, that's all fine. Inhaling, head up. Exhaling, hands on the hips. Press to come up. Inhale, exhale, return to the top of your mat. Parshvottanasana. Palms meet behind, fingers down, or knuckles together, or even grabbing the elbows. All fine. Full version is when your prayer hands rotated upward. Step your right foot back, square the hips toward the wall you're facing, keeping your back as long as possible for as long as possible. Come to a forward fold without bending your right leg. You can stop halfway. Feel how it feels. Inhale, rotate your feet, square the hips again toward the wall you're facing. Lengthen the chest, lengthen the back, and go down without bending your left knee. Stay firmly rooted, stable breathing. Gaze toward the left toes now. Inhaling up and return to the front. Exhale. Next one is balancing. Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. Easy version, just grab your leg below your knee, and when we open it, bend it. Or full version, grab the big toe and explore the possibility of extending the leg. If you've been practicing, try to forward fold. It is a tricky balance here and requires focus and patience. When we open the leg to the side, keep it slightly bent if you need it. Only when in perfect balance, see if you can gaze over your left shoulder. Return to center And again, one last forward fold for just one breath, and we hold the leg up for 5 breaths. Even if you work with bent leg, now extend it. Do your best. Let's try the left side. Again, bent leg is a perfect version to begin building your balance, or a full version, grabbing the big toe, extending the leg, and maybe folding forward, or just remain standing tall. Do your best. Standing leg is firm and rooted, belly inside. Keep your Mula Bandha, keep your Uddiyana Bandha. If available, try to move your gaze over your right shoulder. Return to center and maybe fold or not. Leg extended now, both hands on the hips. Use the strength of the standing leg to press firmer down. Return. It's kind of tricky, it's a hard one. We continue. Next one involves the knee. So if you have any knee issue, here's the version for you, a tree pose. You can put the right foot pressing against the left leg at any height. Or if your knee is fine and your lotus pose is available, try to bind your right arm with your right foot. Or just send both arms down. Be patient. Be curious. Explore the balance. And we'll change side. Again, it can be a tree pose on the left side with the leg position at any height. Try to avoid pressing right against the knee though. Or full version. First, try to do the lotus with your left leg. Binding is optional when you're ready. And then fold forward. It is a very complicated pose that has a few complicated components that might require your attention separately before put together. But just be curious about it. See how it feels. Smile and continue. Vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, grow tall, look up, and Chaturanga Dandasana. Sending your tail before you do any back bend. Then inhale into this back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, walk or hop. Land between your hands, and this is Utkata Asana. Intense pose. When you hold it for 5 breaths, you understand why it is translated as intense pose. Exhale, forward fold, and Chaturanga Dandasana from here. Send the tail forward first, engage through the legs, elongate through the front and back, downward facing. Last standing pose, Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. Stepping your right leg forward, knee wants to be on top of the ankle. Elongate through the sides, relatively as much as you can, square your hips to the wall you're facing. Left side, use the strength of your back leg. Left knee, do not want to pass further than the ankle. Second one, Virabhadra 2, arms parallel to floor, gaze toward the left fingers. right side. Gaze toward the right fingers. Use the strength of the legs, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, to add lightness to the pose. And through Vinyasa, we transition into the seated poses. Here the primary series of Ashtanga Yoga begins. Danda Asana, palms by your sides, belly engaged, feet flexed, chin down, gazing at the tip of the nose, breathing freely. We'll be returning to this position after every pose, Paschimottanasana. Grab the feet, bend the knees if needed to elongate your back, especially in the lower back. Chest goes forward and see what's available. Your forward fold can be very, very minimal, and it will still be useful, very beneficial, trying to avoid rounding of the back. Inhaling up, and we'll try to go a little deeper. So choose your grip, either holding the sides of the feet or anywhere where appropriate. Bending the knees first allows your back to safely stretch. This is the version that I really like. And then just breathe. Inhaling halfway up, and then on the exhale, release. Right leg on top of the left, and we'll be lifting, and we continue into the next one, Purvottanasana. Place your fingers pointing forward, few inches behind your hips. Engage through the legs, point your toes, send your tail forward, and expand, lift up through the chest, through the hips. Release the head back and release the pose. The easy version, if that was too intense, stepping halfway towards you and do the tabletop. Transition between the poses, right leg on top, tuck your feet under. Inhale as you roll forward, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, any version. Lie down flat if you need. Do your back bends safely, using the tail movement forward. Downward facing dog. Return to seated. Next pose, Ardha Baddha Padma, Paschimottanasana. Right leg in half lotus or on the floor. If there is any knee issue or hip issue, binding is optional. Try your best. Inhaling, exhaling, enter the pose, trying to find symmetry in extension on both sides. Breathing freely. Inhaling up, undo the pose, exhale. Between your knees and hips, place your hands, we'll try to lift. Belly engaged, deep inside, send your belly button to the spine, try to lift and release. Left side. Again, move your leg to explore the possibility of lotus variation. If not, just keep the foot on the floor. Take a breath and enter the forward fold. If there is no bind, you can always send your both arms forward. Breathe fully. Press your right leg to the ground. Think about your inner right leg pressing in. Take a breath looking up. Exhale, undo the pose. Right leg on top, tuck your feet under, lift, or just looking up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Tail forward first, chest in front of your arms, neck free. If comfortable, look up. Downward facing dog, that's exhale. And we return to seated for the next pose. Tiryang Mukha Ikapada Paschimottanasana. Right leg bends backward, knee looking forward. Both knees remain parallel. Grab the foot, ankle, or anywhere available, and with the exhale, enter the pose. Breathe freely. Send the energy of your right knee forward and slightly collect the left hip backward. Explore the lifting option between the sides and bend your left leg backward. Again, keep your thighs parallel. Inhale, elongate, and even though the pose is asymmetrical, try to be moving toward the center, toward the inner right leg. Press the inner right leg to the ground. Send the energy of the left knee forward. Inhaling, look up. Exhale here. Inhaling, lifting, maybe just the hips, maybe one leg goes up as well. Release. Vinyasa. Inhaling, always open the chest and look up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, lie down flat, knees down. Anything that works here. Back bends become more comfortable the more we do them. So by now we've done a couple of dozens of them. So keep doing them. You will enjoy them more. Janu Shirshasana, bending your right leg so that the right foot presses into the left inner thigh. Taking a breath, looking up, elongate, and keep stretching through the chest and your spine. Enter the pose, holding the foot, the ankle, or the shin. Allow yourself to breathe peacefully. Inhaling up, exhaling here. Inhaling, try to lift. Remember, hands between the hips and the knees, so that you need to lean forward before you lift, to engage the core, building some strength there. Left side. Inhaling, hold the foot. Exhaling, reach through your chest forward, through the rib cage forward, and then peacefully enter the final available position where you can maintain your breath, hear the sound of it. Inhaling up, exhaling, release the leg. Inhaling up, exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana, and inhale up again. Check how it feels in the back bend. Exhale, downward facing. Come to seat. Janu Shirshasana B variation. We begin the same way, except now we lift the hips and move to sit on top of the heel. Right toes still look forward. Big breath first, and peacefully entering the forward fold, holding the left leg where appropriate. Releasing your body toward the top of your leg, keeping it smooth and peaceful. Inhaling up, exhaling, release the leg. Try to lift. Notice that the hands are in front of your hips, belly inside. Maybe lifting one leg at a time. We'll do the left side. Prepare the left, same way as before. Now lift the hips and roll forward to sit on top of the left heel. Big breath first. Exhaling into the forward fold. Comfortable grip. Peaceful extension. Trying not to harbor any stress in any part of the body. If you feel something uncomfortable, send your breath in this area. See if you can melt it away. Release. Vinyasa, right foot on top of your left. Press up, looking up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Your push-up. Building overall strength. Inhale, keeping your back mobile with all those repetitive back bends. Return to seat, Janu Shirshasana, variation C. Toes, just the toes, will be on the floor, and the heel at the same time wants to look up. It's a little complicated to find this position, especially if you haven't tried before, but don't worry, just try. You will see the easier variation after we finish with both sides here. Breathing fully, pretending that the sensations are bearable, even though they might not be. Release. Between the sides, we want to lift, building the core strength. And release, exhale. Left side, showing from this side. Track the toes back towards you, toward the inner right side. Keeping your left heel as high as possible. Don't worry about the knee. Knee can be away from the ground, that's fine. Explore folding forward. And again, this is the full variation. I will show you how you can begin softening your toes. If this option is absolutely impossible. Okay? So you can tuck your toes in and sit with your hips on top of your heels. Your toes want to bear some weight, and you will decide how much weight you are prepared to put on top of your toes. Little by little, this area will soften and your toes will tolerate more pressure. Okay, just be patient. Vinyasa, to connect with the next pose. Enjoy your back bend, enjoy your breath. Those transitions are very healing. Return to seat and Maricha Asana A. Bending your right leg, put the foot flat near you. Keep some space between the foot and the straight leg. Forward fold, wrap your armpit around the right shin, binding your hands behind. Take a breath first, elongate, and the exhale takes you into the form of the pose. Breathing peacefully, your right hip is in the air. Lifting between the sides or doing full vinyasa if you prefer. Choose your practice. Left side, taking your left foot back, totally flat. Notice how the left sitting bone is not touching the ground now. It is elevated. This is how you can forward fold. Otherwise, it is impossible. Okay? So right hip crease moving backward. Collect the belly button inside. Do your best. Explore. Inhaling through the lift. Exhaling. Vinyasa. Tuck your feet under. Inhale. Open the chest. Exhale. Try your push-up. Lots of push-ups here. Inhaling. Exhaling. And we continue. Next one, Marichasana V. For the right side, we want to bend the left leg into half lotus. That might not be possible for some. You can keep the foot on the floor. If it's on the floor, then the right ankle will be in front of the left one. Or if you are doing the full one, left in half lotus, right foot flat, moving back to you. Press the left knee down. Try to wrap the right shin with the armpit, binding your hands behind. Inhaling, lengthen. Exhaling, lower your head to the ground. Breathing fully. That's all we want to achieve here. Consistent, equal, peaceful breathing. Inhaling up, exhaling, align your legs. Inhaling, try to lift, exhale, release. Other side. This time, right leg goes into half lotus or remains on the floor. Easier version. Just build your practice gradually, don't worry. Full one, right in half lotus, left foot slides back to you. Return your right knee on the ground, lean forward and wrap the left shin with your left armpit. Binding the arms, elongate looking up, exhaling, forward fold. Breathe here peacefully. Inhaling up, undo the legs, and we'll go through Vinyasa. Right leg on top. Inhale first, elongating. Step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, tail forward, chest forward. Freedom in the neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two twisted variations of Marichasana. Next one, Marichasana C. Right leg very near you, and it also touches the left leg. So much so there is no gap, not even single air bubble there. First elongate before you do any twist. And then explore different levels of the twist. Either just hugging the knee or going on the outside of the knee. Everything you do after you have extended to your maximum and even beyond your maximum. Keep extending. Protect your back. Release the pose. Transition through the lift or Vinyasa, and we do the other side. Left foot very, very, very close to you. Use your left fingers to press away, elongate, and only then begin rotation, hugging the left knee. Or, if appropriate, send your entire arm over the knee. The final version is bound variation. If the binding is not happening, just hold your shirt or your pants. Keep growing regardless. After 5 breaths, we undo the pose and go through transition, which we call Vinyasa. It is partial sun salutation. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Return to sit. Marichasana D. Easier version will be with your left foot on the ground and the right foot on the outside of the left knee, and we'll be twisting to the right. First, growing tall though. Inhaling and look over your right shoulder. You can hug the knee or bind underneath. The full version though is with the left leg in half lotus and the right foot returns back to you, left knee on the floor. You want to feel very, very compact and elongate before you twist. Hug the knee first and then explore. If you've been practicing, you might want to explore the bind. That's a very complex yogic twist. Really requires perseverance, patience, and time. Left side. Right leg will be either on the floor, if you're doing the easy version, with the left foot on the outside of the knee. Find your tallest upper body possible and then try to twist mildly, adding little by little, extending all the time. Or full version, right leg goes in half lotus, left foot slides back, right knee returns to the floor. We want to be very, very compact and twisting to the left. Hug your left knee with the right arm. See how it feels. If there is room to deepen, explore going all the way around and sending both arms to bind. Keeping your upper body stress-free. Keep your neck long. Looking back. Undo the pose. And we go through vinyasa. It really feels good to move here after the deep twists. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, stretch the legs, the back. Really feels sweet. Return to sit. Navasana, boat pose. Building some core strength. Your variation can be chosen either with the legs bent and supported, or bent and not supported, straight with support, or the full version. Pressing the lower belly down to the ground, lift up through the chest. Lift between the repetitions. We are going to do 5 sets. Set number 2. Choose your leg position. Engage the Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Send your belly down. Lift after 5 breaths. Get ready for the next one. Breathe fully. Send the back of your heart up toward the sky. Arms straight. Release, lift, and do again. Open the chest, root down through the lower belly. Breathe fully. Smile. And we continue. It's a very not easy pose. So be happy with what you're able to do, to the point that you can even hold your fingers on the floor behind you. Transition here. Return to downward facing dog. And the next one is quite complicated. It is not to be tried without proper instructions given by your teacher. So just watch if you have never done it before. And when we exit the pose, we want to get into Bakasana, one leg at a time or both legs when you get more experience. And the second part of it, jumping back from Bakasana, looking forward, send your breath, and legs go back. Tail forward, looking up. Exhale, downward facing. Press the heels. Jump around your arms or sit normally and enter the next pose, Kurma Asana, turtle, from this position. Legs slightly bent and send your arms maybe all the way, including your shoulder underneath. Your arms slightly backward diagonally or to the side. Palms down and legs slightly bent or eventually push them toward straight. That is the most intense forward fold of the entire primary series of Ashtanga Yoga. Second part, Supta Kurmasana, is slightly easier because the back can be round and that is fine. The feet cross at the ankles and the head is hidden inside. Your palms want to meet. If that's not available, just hold your pants behind or keep your arms on the ground. Quite a claustrophobic pose. Okay, so we have an opportunity to deal with fears. Next one, the exit of the pose. Again, it's not easy here to try. So wait for the proper instruction of the teacher and we continue. For the next one, we sit up tall, legs in any comfortable cross-legged position, or the full version is when both legs bent into Padma, lotus pose, and the arms go inside. And do not even ask me how to do that. I do not know how it happens, but after many years of practice, it somehow happens. Still a miracle to me. And this is the version where we try to hold the ears, sitting tall for 5 breaths, and then rolling back, holding the head, keeping the back very round, very small, very compact, and moving in very fast and small rolls, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, completing the circle. We end in Kukutasana. Lifted here, gazing at the tip of the nose for 5 breaths, and release. Exit, if you are in lotus, is a special one. Either palms parallel, fingers forward, or palms parallel, fingers toward yourself. Land on your elbows with the lower belly, release the legs backward. Or just do the easy transition that you are used to. And we continue. Next pose. Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees to the sides. And we hold the feet in such a way that we want to open them as a book. Press down through the sitting bones to elongate, reach forward through the chest, and peacefully explore the possibility of going further down. The sensations might be quite intense depending on your level of hip flexibility. Start somewhere. Don't worry, do what's available. It is a very, very deep hip opening pose, so be patient. Inhaling up, exhaling, we go into B variation with the back round this time. So the head wants to touch the feet as you send the belly button backward, rounding the back as much as you can, and even more, lowering your forehead to the toes. Move slowly. You have lots of time. 5 breaths is a lot of time. Inhaling up, exhaling. Take a few breaths. Enjoy the movement of the breath along your spine, from the tail up. Inhale from the ground to the tail. Exhale. Nice and easy, peaceful breath. Slowly bring your knees together. Vinyasa. Tuck the feet under. Inhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Remember to send the tail forward for this back bend. Freedom in the neck. Look up only if your neck allows. Downward facing dog. And come to sit. Open your legs wide. Upavishta Konasana, open angle. 90-degree angle between your legs. Tuck your belly in, elongate. Chest is long, chin forward. If available, drop your elbows down. If you're ready to go further, grab the sides of the feet and explore this forward fold. Another deep one, which requires years of practice to get down. It took me over 6 or 7 years to be able to put my belly on the floor. So I know what you might feel. It is a very slow process. Inhaling up, try to catch your legs and open them as wide as possible as you send the back of your heart, the shoulder blades forward and up, arms engaged, legs engaged. Looking up, breathing. Return and go through Vinyasa with awareness of your breath, allowing your body to rest in motion. And return, we do the same pose, Supta variation. Supta means lying down, Supta Konasana. Take your legs over your head and same 90-degree angle between your legs, grabbing the big toes, trying to align your hips on top of your shoulders, keeping your nose up. Peacefully breathe here And on the next inhale, we'll be rolling up, trying to hold it for a second in the upward position. And land and fold carefully. Tail forward, going through vinyasa. And returning to seat. Ready for the next one. Supta Padangustasana. Again, Supta means lying down. Padangusta means the big toe, the toe of the foot. Pada, grabbing the right big toe or the ankle or higher with your right hand, moving toward the straight leg. But again, this is just a suggestion. If that's not feasible, then do what's available. We continue to build length in the muscles. So it's a very slow process. We want to be patient and breathe through all the sensations that might arise. Opening the leg to the side, looking into the opposite direction. Keep your left hip rooted. Resist the temptation to lift the left hip. Return to center. Kiss the knee and release the head down. Exhale, the leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Hold it where appropriate. Working with the leg toward long, kind of pulling it out of the left hip, pressing the right hip down. And the next option, to bring the face to the knee. See what works. Just be curious. Release your head down and open the leg to the side without lifting your right hip. Looking to your right side. Point your right foot. You can point your left foot as well. Return to center. Inhale. Exhale. Kiss the knee. Inhale, head down. Exhale, leg down. Exit through this pose, either through backward roll or halasana, touching the floor behind you. Unroll forward and go through vinyasa, the transition, with the back bend on inhale, with a down dog on exhale, and come to seat again. And lie down on your back. Inhale, both legs go into halasana, and we hold the big toes with 2 fingers. On inhale, try to roll forward and balance in the middle. Legs engaged and pushing forward, arms engaged and pulling back. Undo, go through vinyasa, send your tail forward, educate your lower back to always be extended with this movement of the tail forward. It is a very healthy habit. Release, sit down and lie down. This time we'll be holding the sides of the feet closer to the heels. Otherwise, the pose resembles the previous one. Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. Holding the sides of the feet, prepare to unroll. Inhale and go up and send the heart forward. To stop in the middle, think about your shoulder blades going up. And if that's available, slowly explore the possibility of this Paschimottanasana facing up, Urdhva Mukha variation. of Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Vinyasa here, and tail forward, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. And the last pose between the finishing sequence, Setu Bandhasana. Heels touch as we open the toes to the sides and partially bend your knees. Placing the elbows on the floor, prepare to use the strength of the legs to push your heels up, pressing into the feet, straightening the legs. Elongate your front, elongate your back. Your crown goes to the floor, and this is the easier version. When your arms support your lower back, return to center. And again, lying down, we exit through Halasana or backward roll, which I do not recommend until you have practiced it with a teacher or if you have any neck issues. So be smart. And next will be Ushtrasana, the easier variation of the back bends. Keep your legs parallel, hip distance, knees pressing down, and everything below the hips pressing down, everything above the waist moving up and forward. Your fists pressing into your sacrum and pushing it forward to support your lower back, to keep it comfortable and safe. And inhaling, you elongate, and you exhale, slowly release into the back bend. Don't go anywhere beyond reasonable. See how it feels. We'll do 2 more times. Your second option is to lift the heels high. Keep extending though. Keep sending the chest forward. So you want to lengthen your back and front all the time. Do not think about back bend. Think about back extension, and hips constantly move forward to protect your lower back, to make your lower back safely lengthened and the back bending secure and light. One more time. You can do one of the 2 variations that we just did, or if you feel fine, you can release your toes out and try again. Always press the hips forward. Always press the chest up. Everything else is the function of your breath. Breathing fully. Back bends are particularly energizing and rejuvenating. Do what's available, but try not to avoid, try not to skip the back bends. They are not easy, but your life with back bends is much nicer than without them. So always be grateful for what's available. Rest after you do them in any forward fold version, or lying down on your back and keeping your knees to your chest. Child's pose is one of the options here. And I suggest we try the Urdhva Dhanurasana, the full back bend. If you have never done it before, just watch, or if you have any issues, you can do it partially. Lie down and take your shoulder blades away from the center. Then take your arms up and lengthen them to prepare the upper back. That really, really helps. Okay, prepare your hands, facing the shoulders. Use the strength of the legs to press up, to lift the hips. You can stay here entire time. You don't need to do more if you're not ready. Or explore the next level, putting the crown on the floor. Only if you feel fine. Straighten the arms, lifting the hips high. Lifting the hips high. Keep your heels down. I only lift my heels for a little bit because that really feels that I'm releasing the lower back this way. But basically, it is not recommended. It is just my personal choice. This is the only way I can do it. Try to keep your heels rooted the entire time. And we'll do 3 sets of 5. So breathe freely, do your best, what's available. Remember to be grateful for being alive, for being able to do what you're able to do. And release, take a moment to rest. Here's the rocking on the lower back with your knees hugged tightly. Okay, and the inversions will be the next thing. But we want our back to rest completely first. So take all the time you need, all the time you want in any forward fold, child's pose, anything that makes your back happy. Paschimottanasana, forward fold, is the common practice in the school of Ashtanga yoga. So we spend 5 to 10 breaths after the back bends here. It's a long, long time just to enjoy. Be peaceful. Bending your knees or keeping your legs straight. Whatever makes your lower back released from tension. Lie down flat on your back. And the inversions are particularly important because they are rejuvenating. They have this effect on the whole body that when we do them, we do not feel exhausted after the intense practice. The books say that spending 10 minutes in a shoulder stand equals 2 hours of sleep. How amazing is that? So when you are particularly tired but need to function, you just go into a shoulder stand. Hold it for as long as you can. Viparita Karani is one option. Your legs at 45-degree angle. Okay, and then explore going straight. Again, if that's available, as long as you are inverted and your hips are higher than your heart, you are doing the inversion and getting the benefits of it. So we usually spend 10 breaths here. Keep your elbows parallel, closer to each other than you might think. Halasana is the next part of it. Lower your legs, toenails on the floor if possible. Clasp your hands together, lower the elbows, press the shoulders down, keep your nose up to unload the back of the neck. There is some space between the back of the neck and the floor, and your hips aligned on top of the shoulders. Karnapidasana, pressure on the ears. If your knees do not touch the floor, easier version for you is to keep both knees on the forehead. Spending in these poses 8 breaths. And next variation is Padmasana facing up, lotus facing up. Urdhva Padmasana. Legs in any cross-legged position if the lotus not available, and holding your knees, finding your balance requires lots of focus and some practice, of course. Bringing your knees to the shoulders, hug your legs around, maybe bind your hands. Being very compact, trying to send your hip creases constantly toward the sky. Keeping your belly inside. After 8 breaths, place your palms on the ground, unroll carefully, slowly, and the fish pose, Matsyasana. You can do it with your legs in lotus, or if they were not in lotus, you can keep them straight on the floor. So what we want to do here, we want to keep the chest off the ground as high as possible, holding the feet, if your legs in half lotus, and looking at the third eye as the crown is on the ground. Breathe fully and release the pose slowly, carefully. No sharp movements entering or exiting any pose. This is the easier version. Point your toes, extend the front of the body, elbows close to each other, and head rolled back. Choose what works best for you. And we exit again, either halasana and going forward and vinyasa, or backward roll. If you are safe. And I just noticed that I forgot to do Uttanapadasana. So those who know the practice, it comes after the fish pose. I was busy showing you the easy variation, so I completely forgot about it. I'm sorry. Okay, and we continue to go to headstand. Even if you have never done it before, move to the wall, and you can always try to just preparation part, placing your head between your palms, elbows not too wide, not wider than your shoulders. That's the common mistake. Keep your elbows the width of your shoulders and pressing the flat part of your head, not the forehead, on the ground. So just staying with your feet on the ground is all good. You can explore the sensations as your crown presses into the floor, getting used to how it feels, understanding that it is all safe, preparing yourself mentally for the future headstand. Or you can work in the room near the wall, even in the corner, which will give you even more protection. If you already can go up but not sure if you can balance safely, go to the corner to get into the pose. Belly inside, lower ribs inside, tailbone reaches up toward the sky. Legs are engaged and very active. Both legs in one piece. And we stand in the headstand, usually 15 to 25 breaths, exploring the possibility of going halfway when we lower. We want to pike the hips and lower the legs very slowly, very slowly. And the key here, if you've been trying and still not getting it, sending your hips even further back, but doing it simultaneously with lowering the legs, maybe slightly ahead of the legs, so you know where to stop and you do not fall out of the pose. We will explore this pose separately in future videos. Try to rest without lifting your head after the headstand. Give yourself some time. 5 to 10 breaths is the very least. And exiting through Vinyasa, Chaturanga Dandasana, back bend, Urdhva Mukha, and downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So the practice is not complete without 3 closing poses. Your legs in any cross-legged position, lotus, half lotus, or anything easier, and arms behind you, grabbing the elbows or the wrists, or if you're in lotus, you might want to try and bind your feet. Extend through the chest and lower into forward fold. 10 breaths here. Again, time to slow down. Still breathing through the nose. Trying to soften the areas that might be unnecessarily engaged. Just scan the body, see where you can let go. And the next one is sitting tall, arms extended, index finger and your thumb connected as your 3 fingers extended toward the ground. Keep your belly in. Keep your chin down. The sweetest part of the practice. We sit gazing at the tip of the nose, breathing peacefully for 10 breaths. And the key here is to slow down every breath. So every breath is deeper and slower than the one before. And this is the time that my dog knows very well. It's the end of the practice, so she always comes at this time and sits near me. Such a yoga dog. Keep breathing, take your time. And the last thing we do, we collecting the belly inside, engaging the core, pressing the palms into the floor, lifting and holding this pose for up to 25 breaths. Holding it for as long as possible, breathing normally, gazing at the tip of the nose. The pose is quite intense and requires time to build. So hold it for as long as you can first, and if you cannot hold it, go up and down, each time holding for 2 breaths, 3 breaths, as many as you can tolerate. Okay? Lifting up and down, up and down. Build your core strength with patience. You'll be rewarded. And again, whatever is available, always remember to be grateful. Always. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe this is the best you will ever have. And with one Om, inhale. And Shavasana, final relaxation. And my dog is so happy because she's gonna get some massage, some attention, and lots of love before we go in Shavasana together. This is our Bella. Lie down flat on your back, and your legs are wider than your hips. Your shoulders are wide. You might want to hug yourself by the opposite shoulder blade and kind of pull them away from the center. If there is any tension in the lower back, leave the hips a little bit and reposition your hips forward toward your feet 1 inch. Check your neck. You might want to hold your back, lift it, extend, and then return down. So basically the idea is, if you do not feel comfortable right now, it's not gonna get any better. So just invest a few seconds into adjusting your body so you can really savor the sweetness of relaxation. If your room is not particularly warm, always cover yourself with a scarf or something. Put your socks on and allow yourself 5 to 10 minutes to completely relax. And when we exit, bend your knees into your chest, press them tightly, maybe rock from side to side. Again, take your time. No rush. You have worked hard, you deserve some sweet moments. Do what feels right. When you exit through the side, come to sit and namaste. Thank you for practicing. See you again.